What's up, and welcome to nighttime at the Nerd Bar. Woo, episode 74. You know, we bring you that fun Monday energy, and
that took less than 2 seconds. Less than 2 seconds. We had not even left the station before we were off the rails.
No. And then I didn't like how I had my headphone too. So, it's all those things. All the things.
I appreciate this so much. Everything happens so much.
Yeah. But yes, we are happy to be here with you. We are live. This gives you, live. We will keep going though, no matter what happens.
God help us.
Chat going on. So if you're joining us live, chat with us there. And then if you're watching this later, comment down below. We got Giga Derek in the chat. Howdy.
Yo.
And let's get our introductions. Hello, I am Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
Yes. So welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar. We'll be talking about Demon Slayer in a little bit, so stick around for that, as well as Overwatch, anime news, and other recommendations for things you should check out. So a whole lot of cool stuff for you.
Before we get started with the news, this is still something I'm excited about, so go ahead and put that banner up.
Boom.
Happy Pride Month.
Yay!
Happy Pride Month. Remember that the first Pride was a riot and protesting is very important. And also, happy first ever Aromantic Visibility Day. You all have disadvantage on your stealth checks right now, so be careful. But legit, y'all deserve a day. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's like our first June day, huh? So.
Yeah. I mean, I was wearing a completely different Pride shirt, and then I spilled my lunch all over it, so I have yet another Pride shirt.
Yay!
Because Critical Role really comes through for you.
I went and saw Spider-Man, so I have my Spider-Man shirt, which I'll talk about that later.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be talking about that at the end. No spoilers.
Yeah,
but
no
at the
spoilers,
end.
don't worry.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, let's get into things we're excited about. So, first up, here we go. News from Crunchyroll, and it is Crunchyroll and Jazzwares are bringing the best of anime collectibles to you. And Crunchyroll and Jazzwares have announced that they are doing a partnership that's bringing expansive a suite of consumer products across 18 different anime series, including hit titles such as Attack on Titan, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, and Spy Family. Woo-hoo! And we will post some of those pictures on our Twitter, which you can follow us at
ATATNB.
Oh, yes, all it takes. That's why I think
if it starts with an N, you're having some trouble tonight.
Apparently. So yes, follow us on here because then we'll post some pictures. But yeah, so go check that out for new figures and just see if there's anything else I was from it. Okay. So if you're not familiar with Jazzwares, that's JAZWARES, is a global go-to authority on toys and collectibles. And so they're doing a cross-category portfolio of fan favorites of anime properties. And I'm excited there's 18 different titles, shows. So, there it is. Also, beginning summer of 2024, fans will experience their most beloved anime titles brought to life by Jazzwares across massive retailers, specialty collector destinations, and on their favorite platform, Crunchyroll. So go follow Crunchyroll and Jazzwares for more information, and then follow our Twitter, so we'll post some pictures of those things.
Yes.
Oh, wait, there we go. That banner.
There we go.
Yes.
All right. Keeping with things we're excited about, pretty sure we have at least one One Piece fan watching us. Pretty sure we have more than one One Piece fan watching us. We have news from Toei Animation. They are bringing the One Piece Episode 1000 dub world premiere fan celebration to Anime Expo 2023. So for those unfamiliar, Anime Expo is the convention that runs over July 4th weekend. And this is going to be an absolute blast. We have the 1000th episode of One Piece, which is mind-boggling and amazing. We have the dub premiere to occur at Anime Expo. on July 22nd at the Grammy Museum at LA Live. Along with a 1,000th dub episode screening, this specially produced celebration will feature a variety of fan experiences, including autograph signing session with Toei Animation animators and dub actors Sonny Strait, Patrick Seitz, and Ian Sinclair, a live drawing showcase and Q&A with One Piece animators, a Luffy and Shanks statue display, say that 5 times fast, a card game demo, Odyssey demo stations, and so much more. And even if you're not going to AX, it is open to the public. No badge is required.
Nice.
But it is first come, first serve, and there is venue capacity. So mark your calendars, make your travel plans, head to this premiere celebration. It's going to be a blast.
That's awesome. That is something convenient about when there's the offsite events. So
yeah, usually
early.
offsite events are like San Diego Comic-Con purview. So having them for Anime Expo is always a ton of fun, especially one this big.
Yeah. All right. So continuing our news. So this was an interesting collection of information that I came across. I sent an email on the 10 most popular anime characters to cosplay worldwide. Do you have your guesses? Hold on to those guesses and see if you're right. Or what
Throw your
our
guesses
number...
in the chat. There's a slight delay.
Yes, there we go. We'll do that. So this was conducted by the research by online gaming platform Heartsland, examined over 150 pop culture characters and broke them down into 4 groups: superheroes and villains, anime gaming, and TV and film characters. And so by analyzing Instagram, characters were then combined to hashtag cosplay and costume to determine which characters are most popular to cosplay worldwide. And so for drum roll. So characters from My Hero Academia do dominate the ranking with 5 entries in the top 10. But number 1 is our one and only Deku Izuku Midoriya, which I feel makes sense too, because like you could do his school outfit pretty easily and like a big green wig. So I think that's pretty fun. And let's say a couple of the other 2. Number 2, Shoto Todoroki. Number 3, Zero 2. Number 4, Bakugo. And number 5, Hinata. I was like, Hinata. I was like, that's from Naruto, right?
No, I was going to say Hinata's a Naruto character.
Yeah.
And 02 is Darling in the Franxx.
I was like, I don't know that one. Yes. Oh,
it's
I know.
a wild one.
That's one that I know that character, but I've never watched the source material.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
the
source material is polarizing.
Okay.
Put it that way.
Well, I thought that was kind of interesting. Let us know what you think of that, and I'll post some more, maybe some others of the top 10. But I think that's kind of interesting, and go My Hero Academia. Good for you.
Yeah.
Also, little throwback here to we talked about it a moment ago, but AX, Charles Darcy says AX always has huge announcements. This is true. They do. We're getting very, very close, which is like, oh my goodness, it's like less than a month away, which is crazy.
And speaking of, we have another Anime Expo announcement. This one from HIDIVE. HIDIVE will host the North American premiere of Helck action series on July 1st at Anime Expo 2023. It is a screening of episodes 1 and 2, so you get a little more bang for your buck at this panel. And again, a reminder as to what Helck is about. Demon King was defeated by the hands of one of the heroes, and a competition was held for the title of the new Demon King. The Imperial Four Heavenly Kings Remilio, who's in charge of the tournament, is furious at the participation of the human hero Helck, who is supposed to be her enemy, whereas Helck wants to destroy all humans with a smile. What's the truth behind the smile? We don't know that yet. That's the mystery. So this is premiering at Anime Expo, first and second episodes, Saturday, July 1st at 1:30 p.m. at the Platinum Ballroom of the JW Marriott. So you head out of the convention center, you take a nice little walk in the heat, and then you take a nice little walk in the air conditioning.
Well, I was going to say, we'll see what it is, because it does seem to be hit or miss. Yeah. Last year was cool. I wouldn't say cold, but it was not quite, it was not the heat it has been, so.
The ones that stick in my brain were the 100-degree.
I remember
Anime
that
Expos.
one well.
Those are the ones I remember. So, yeah, you take a little walk in the heat, and then you take a little walk in the air conditioning. And then you carry a sweater in your bag for the big ballroom in the convention center, because it's always icy cold.
Yep. which we'll do our names again at the end. But on my TikTok, and I'm pretty sure I put on my Instagram, I have top 5 items you should bring to your next convention. And yes, a sweater is one of them.
God, yes, always bring a sweater. Even
you
if it's a
never
little
know.
one that rolls up and goes in the bottom of your bag, like always bring a sweater.
Yes.
There have been so many regrets.
It's one of those, because you just don't know. And it's good to have on hand. We got John Knight in the chat says, hello, ladies. Hello.
Sup.
And so another quick bit of news. There it is. Okay, Sony Music Entertainment Japan virtual talent management agency Prism Project announces 6th generation talents. And I'm like, these are just such an interesting idea of like, wait, what? So virtual talent management agency Prism Project, and that's a member of Sony Music Entertainment, it is going to announce the 6th generation of virtual talents, VTubers, and their 2 talents, Jun Kane and Yuki Kitashiro, became the first male presenting talents to join Prism Project as globally managed virtual talents, with an eye towards bridging the gap between the online and offline entertainment spheres. So I will post a picture of that so you can see what these people look like, which I'm like, oh, it's always interesting. We got some red hair, we got white hair, and you'll have to check out our Twitter to see those pictures. But yes, think that's it for news. And now we're ready for Overwatch.
Yes.
Which is an anime.
Yes, we are. We have our mid-season madness brackets, y'all. Let's go. We had, God bless this weekend. This weekend was absolutely nuts in terms of games. We had a few blowouts and we had a few absolute knockdown dragouts. Our blowouts, we had so much 3 Overwatch this weekend. We weren't expecting it, but we did. We had the Gladiators knock the Mayhem down to a lower bracket 3-0. We had Boston knock the Gladiators down to a lower bracket 3-0, therefore clinching Boston's spot. And then it took a map 5 for Florida to knock the Gladiators out fully, which I'm a little sad. I thought my boys were going to make it to Korea, but that is not how it worked out. And we had the last few matches of our APAC brackets where I was hoping that Dreamers would make it all the way. The last contenders team in contention for this. They got knocked down to the lower bracket in their first match by Poker Face, and then have made a crazy lower bracket run, including, we'll talk about Boston in a minute. We're talking about Dreamers right now because, my God, these kids. They're not kids, they're young adults, but nonetheless. They made a crazy lower bracket run. They knocked out the Guangzhou Charge, who were the number 1 seed in the region and the favorites to take it. They knocked out Guangzhou. And then, unfortunately, on Saturday night, they got 4-0'd by the Hangzhou Spark. So Hangzhou is making it. Fortunately for both of our Seoul teams, we have at least one Seoul team representing at the tournament in Seoul, Korea. We have the Seoul Inferno, the recently rebranded Philadelphia Fusion, 4-0'd the Dallas Fuel, knocked them out. It was 4 Overwatch in the nighttime. It was nuts. Just wiped out the Dallas Fuel, and those are our APAC teams that are going to be taking for the Seoul Inferno just a quick skip over to Seoul for our tournament. So that means our brackets look like not this coming weekend, but next weekend. We're giving a little bit of time for travel, accommodations, getting used to time zones, all that fun stuff. Our first match on June 15th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. We are going late Pacific because it's going to be heckin' early in APAC. Is Florida versus Hangzhou, the Pink Showdown. So this is going to be really interesting because Hangzhou came in absolutely on fire these past few weeks, and Florida has had to struggle a little bit for some of their wins, but they have been playing extremely well. Our other matchup is going to be the Boston Uprising versus the Houston Outlaws, and I'm very scared. Houston are my boys, And also, Boston has shown that they have, we say this about Boston all the time, they have an absolutely crazy roster this year. It's a roster full of veterans. It's a roster full of extremely talented, very experienced players, all of whom are very capable of what we've coined the Fleta deadlift, which is getting over half of the team's total kills on a map, which we actually had in the knockout rounds with the Gladiators. They got a deadlift on the last map with, I believe it was Decay, getting 14 out of the team's 26 kills, which is insane. And every member of this team is capable of a deadlift. So they're good, but they're not the top seed. They had some rough times. It'll be really interesting to see where Boston goes from here and how they measure up to Houston and eventually, depending on how the brackets shake out, Atlanta, because Atlanta continues to be completely undefeated, and they are the only team that is undefeated. So I believe it is going to be the winner of Florida versus Houston that will go against Atlanta, and the winner of Boston, Florida versus Houston, Florida versus Hangzhou that goes against Atlanta, and the winner of Boston versus Houston that goes up against the Seoul Inferno. So this is the first time this season that we are having an East meets West tournament. We're having it in Seoul. So if you want to travel, Seoul, Korea is nice this time of year. And it'll be very interesting to see how this goes down because the APAC region plays things very differently than the NA region in terms of how they approach the meta, in terms of how they approach the game itself. Like the APAC region is very good at picking a meta and sticking to it and being very good at it. Whereas the NA region really, really likes its cheese. The NA region will pull out the Lifeweaver to do the Widowmaker jump shot at the beginning, just to see if they can get anything. The NA region will pull out the Bastion for just because they can, and they will make it work. They will pull out whatever they think will work on a comp. They go sideways at it. So it will be very interesting to see how these mindsets clash. Especially since, again, the winningest team in the league is an NA region team, is the Atlanta Reign. So it'll be really interesting. It's going to be a couple of really late nights, but at the end of it, we will crown the winner on Saturday, June 17th. That match is supposed to start at 8 p.m., but, we'll see how things go. So if you are doing pick'ems, make sure you put your brackets in. I still need to do mine. And I really have to figure out if I want to do the realist bracket or the idealist bracket, because I'd love for Houston to win, but I've also been watching Atlanta play, and guys, Atlanta's really good this year. They've finally gone to a tournament where they are the favored winners, as opposed to, could be them, could be this other team. Atlanta has a habit of getting to the semifinals or the finals and then getting wrecked. This is the best position Atlanta has had to win any tournament since they started in season 2. So let's see how this goes. I think the only tournament winners we have here are the Florida Mayhem. The Seoul Inferno did pick up one spring, what was it? Spring something or other. I can't remember what the tournament was called. The Philadelphia Fusion have picked up a tournament. They're the Seoul Inferno now, but they have a tournament under their belts. Same with the Florida Mayhem. So we've got 2 tournament winners. Neither of them are the heaviest favored teams here. So this is just going to be really interesting. Can't wait for the upsets. Can't wait for everything to go crazy. Let's go. Let's go. Although for this tournament, if you ask me for a team to root for, it will be Houston. You will suffer with me.
Yay, we all go. Well, it's like liking a team that's, you gotta like it because you like it, no matter how good they do.
I've been a Houston fan since season 1, and Houston has been cursed for about 3 straight seasons. They've had a terrible time of it. So having a season where they're in contention and going this far and looking amazing is like just kind of clutching the armrests and going, we're not going to mess this up, right? Right? We coined the term Houstonable last season. We're not doing that again, right? So who knows? It is wild to be a fan of a cursed team and then have a good season. It feels a little bit like being gaslit, but it's good though. I don't know, man. Being a Houston fan is never boring.
I was
We
waiting
have fun
for.
here.
Well, speaking of fun, I was like, wait, there's a few in there. I'm like, what's a good fun bridge? We like doing those here. At least I do. Never boring. Well, that's for sure. My goodness. And
we gave the boy a personality and he became a sass master. He's my new favorite. I wasn't expecting that.
He's like, so that's like the best you got. Oh, I love it.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said I wasn't supposed to talk, so I was waiting. Like, also, your pot's a little misshapen and kind of ugly.
Yeah.
Amazing. We love him.
him,
the boy.
Yes. Oh, man. I love that sass. And it's just so dry that it makes it better. Oh, my gosh. Like, you go, yes. The dish. Sure. Yes.
The
roast. Yes, it's a roast. It's more of a roast. Yeah.
We've spent the past 2 episodes really going into his deal, and for me that went from oh okay to oh now I'm interested to oh no he's meeting all my standards to favorite, new favorite, mine. Like damn.
So funny. I liked seeing that weird demon thing's true form, and he's like, that's it. I'm not surprised.
Everything I touch turns to fish. It's the worst Midas touch, actually.
That was so weird and gross, and that like borders on the body horror continuing.
Oh, absolutely.
I was like, because we get to see some abs, which I'm like, cool, but like, wait, this is a child, so. But whatever.
I guess this 14-year-old is ripped. What?
Then I like the weird snake fish form because that was just kind of more impressive than just like because it looked more like it was just water, like more like a sludge thing. So I was like, oh no, it's in this big shape. And
also the idea of having a snake in a jar.
Yeah, 1,000 poisonous slime fish. Yeah. And then the pot got too greedy. Yes, he did. Oh my god.
Not gonna lie, just getting to the end of this and having our very, very sassy Hashira, and then, oh yeah, you cut his head off, and I'm sitting here going, please let it take, come on. And then cutting it into pieces, and he finally went to ashes. I'm like, oh, thank God. I was expecting another twist. I was expecting this to go bad. Oh, thank God. And there he goes.
Well,
your boy is still poisoned.
It started going that way because it was like, wait, there's a body growing. What the fuck is happening? And then it was like, dice. I'm like, yes, that made me. It was so satisfying.
And just getting to the end of it and then going, getting to the end of it and then just, I have to go help them. What direction are they in? No, it's fine. No, I'm fine. Boom.
Yep. Oh, and face first. I'm like, at least, and roll him over. Our little boy is safe. Thank goodness.
Oh my God, yes.
Because I was wondering, because, this is a show that we could have killed him and we'd be like, well, we're not really surprised. But I said, oh, no, it's my arm. But, that's bleeding really bad. I'll probably die. I should take care of that. But you know what? This wound is okay.
It's like, it wasn't really a wound. It's the blood from my arm. And also from this sword guard that I want to talk about this for a minute.
Boy. Yes.
I want to talk about this for a minute.
Yes.
Because, Happy Kotetsu is alive. Rengoku is clutch even from the afterlife. Yes! This is what I want to talk about. Yes. Is that a lot of times for a show like this, for an ongoing shonen anime, for something where nobody has plot armor, nobody is safe, you never know. Yes. If they kill a character, oftentimes they will leave them behind. Once you really get into your long-running shonen, like, you leave them behind, you move on, you think about them occasionally. Rengoku's fingerprints continue to be all over this anime. He is everywhere. We had the bit last season with the dream conversation of take care of the kids and you have too many wives. We had this and just that little bit of his interaction with our Miss Hashira. We have, the hilt in the guard indirectly saving our kid's life. Like, gone but not forgotten. And
Mhm.
also, we talk so much about how the theme of this anime is kindness and how important it is, and how badly things go when people are not shown kindness. How so many of our demons are people who just got wrecked in real life because there was a failure to care for them. And showing the opposite of that, showing Rengoku, who was so open and caring and enthusiastic with pretty much everyone he met, and showing how that has a lasting effect on people. Like, yeah, I've only had this guy for one movie, but if anything happened to him, oh no, everything happened to him. But we're not forgetting about him. He's still very much there. So that I appreciate that this show can do that without making it feel like, oh yeah, he's a favorite, we need to loop him back in. Like, no, it's organic. He was like that. And people remember that he was like that, and it continues to affect things. Like, I love that. I love that. It's not easy for a show to pull off, and I love that.
Giga goes seasonal Rengoku. Yes.
Seasonal nothing. That man is eternal.
Yes. Well, coming back each season.
Oh, yeah, fair.
That's how, or at least that's how I interpret it. Yeah, and the moment too where Muichiro is thinking about him and like welling up the tears, I was like, and shown kindness to him, his flashback too of how they were taking care of him and we need to save him and everything. So I really liked that too.
And how they also would have saved his brother had his brother not died. Like, it's like he bled out, but had he not, like,
his sweet moment. Okay, yep. I still am with the theory that ghosts exist in this world, which we've seen different examples, but it does seem more like it's not like you're going to see some random spirit per se. You're going to see somebody connected to you. But him seeing his family and his brother telling him you did a good job, you're like, let me get that tissues. And so that was just so sweet. I really appreciated where he gets out of like, you did a good job. You helped people out and it's come back and helped you. Let's roll you on your side so you don't drown in your own vomit kind of thing. Like, come on. Because that was one of those like,
yeah.
Yep, that's Gigadera goes, Muichiro also has a ghost family powers. I do think it's, well, but we also had our last Hashira, like, see a ghost. So I'm like, it's family or people very close, important to you.
Yeah.
But I want to go, they really are there. It's not just a figment of their imagination or their internalized voice, but.
Yeah. It's again, there's a question of whether or not this is a storytelling device or whether it is diegetic. And we don't know.
Not
we
really
don't
100%,
know.
But I think definitely Tanjiro does because he's talked to, like, his family has pulled him out of situations. Like, he's unconscious and they wake him up. So I'm like, there's something going on there. But I do think the show, and I mean, no spoilers for anybody who's read it, I feel they're not really going to go into detail on it, which is okay because I kind of like the ambivalence of it. But
this is also a show where your breathing gives you super strength. So
I know. So I was like, sure, no problem.
You just there's a point where you're just like, yeah, we're gonna roll with it. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's good.
Agreed. I like this comment. Charles says Muichiro using the mist to hide himself and sneak Kyoko was awesome. I thought that was super cool. That fighting style looked great. Another one of those visual representations of how some things work in this world, and you're like, that looks so good. And
again, we gave this kid his personality back and he powered up. It's like, oh wait, I remembered that caring about people gives me super strength. Let's go. And then the sass was just the Salt Bay on top. Amazing.
Well, that one too, where he goes, oh, you thought you were the only one going at like half speed here?
Just the sheer amount of coming from this kid. Like, I love you. Can we keep, I know we can't keep you in the party. I know we can't because you're too overpowered and we got to hang with the other Hashira next season. Like, we're cycling through, but like, can we keep him? He is now the favorite.
His crow needs some lessons on manners. Because there's sass and then there's just being snarky and rude. And his crow is on that side of things.
His crow might calm down a little now that he's back to himself. Or he might sass his crow back. Like, hey, you need to chill now.
I did just realize, I'm like, are they ravens or crows?
Crows.
I think, okay, thank you. I'm pretty sure they're crows.
But. Yeah.
But otherwise, speaking of the other Hashira, yes, her girl coming in hot and she's beautiful and gorgeous. And we had said ribbon dancer. This confirmed it. That
Absolutely.
fighting style was like, I'm just going to kick your ass and be graceful and beautiful and like twirl, 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 splits in the air, dance routine. I'm like, loved it. So beautiful and so cool.
Coming in when Tanjiro nearly got eaten, it's like, oh, we got some Hydra shit going on in here. Yikes.
And her thing of like, I guess I'm cutting a little close. It's okay. You go take a break. You did a good job.
And he's like, I can't hear you. My eardrums are blown out. It's just like, you have all of this information. Impart it very quickly. Yes. My dude, I know you are frazzled, but please. And just like, okay, so they go to this length. Okay, so I will just get slightly outside of that length. And then they just alien queened it. That's so rude. That is beyond rude.
Yes. I didn't see it, but put it up again there. Mitsuri, the queen with that Sailor Moon entrance. Yes, I thought that too. She's I agree. And yes, the extension part was like, oh, come on. Like, no.
Yeah, just again, alien queen. Absolutely rude.
Yep. And
as much as Hiyoko was, bitching and moaning about having to take someone else with him, this guy's the powerhouse. Of course, it might have just seemed that because he is fighting people who are not Hashira, but also like talking about, our pot of greed. And I was making comments to my roommate about, wow, Gyutaro should have been way further up the pecking order. And she just looks at me and goes, Daki was holding him back, remember? Oh, right! Right! I forgot about that half of the equation.
What was it?
What an unholy terror he would have been had he been working alone. One fear. Because it really felt like Pot of Greed went down really easily. And it's like, he didn't, though. We just had a crazy Hashira power-up. And also, Gyutaro was a very specific flavor of dangerous. Yes. And had such a good get out of death free card. Yes. In that someone would have to face him and Daki simultaneously and kill them both. And he is way too dangerous. Like,
I don't know. I think with this guy, too, it also... But the other thing is, their fight scene has been spread out over multiple episodes, so it wasn't exactly the fastest thing ever. And our hero boy did struggle a bit, and he's almost dying of poison. So
yeah.
Oh, actually, dude, the Tanjiro foot broke thing, and then he runs on it too, and I'm like, no. I'm like, oh. If you've ever broken a bone, I'm like, that is like the worst feeling ever. And so just watching that, I'm like,
it's just like, oh, buddy, pal, friend, no. He just keeps getting wrecked. Oh, yes. Buddy. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is a good point too. Charles says maybe Muichiro is just that strong. We've never seen a Slayer get those other marks.
That's true.
Tanjiro, so.
And we did have, again, the reason I was so interested in him. Yeah, the reason I was so interested in him to begin with was the whole, he became a Hashira 3 months after picking up a sword bit. And I'm like, all right, this child is a genius. Cool. How? Like, we both walked into this season, you went, I want to know more about the Love Hashira. And I want to know about the Mist Hashira. And then they announced the season and we went, So the bloodline thing, which I'm still kind of iffy on that, let's be real. But the actual mid-battle power-up and the... I was working with a sword that was beaten and chipped, and this one was made specifically for me, and it is brand ass new.
Ooh, and
so also,
we
did not see anyone else fighting the pot demon before he stepped up.
True.
Usually, we see Tanjiro doing his best and getting upended. We didn't see that. There was no gauge of how difficult is this demon for someone who is trained but not a Hashira. Like, we did not get that for him. So just having a Hashira immediately step in and hold his own and then have that, wait, you need to work with other people. Kindness power up and then go a little nuts. Like, okay.
Yeah.
We didn't really have that gauge of, oh, he's actually very super difficult. Thank God there's a Hashira here. We just had Muichiro immediately having flashbacks. So it's different. It definitely made him feel like he shouldn't have been again, Gyutaro was the bigger threat, but Daki was holding him back. So it's, how do you balance things? So we'll see. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just kind of sitting here balancing things.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And so speaking of balance, was there other parts of the other fight that we... Oh, man, we got our poor Nezuko trying to do her best and getting her arm bit and stuff. Mm-hmm. And we have our gun breather trying to do something too.
Doing everything he can.
He's trying. Yeah.
And the dragon heads having the abilities of the emotions, which, yikes. And again, that's one of those like, Tanjiro, please impart that information. You're kind of the only one who can right now. Buddy, pal. Like, I don't blame him for being absolutely wrecked right now. But it's also like, we can hear your thought process. Come on, buddy. Come on, please.
He kind of tried to yell after her, but yeah.
I knew it. Just bless him.
I knew it was going to end right there too. I'm like, oh, this is going so good. And credits. Like,
yep.
I can generally gauge about now when I'm like, and now.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's okay. Mm-hmm.
Although occasionally it feels like, okay, credit. That was the midpoint.
Yeah. And they're like,
yeah. Can we talk about how the little midpoint art was Morichiro doing the thing? Like, that
was funny too.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say the post credits though. Oh my
god. When's it gonna be our turn? It's not.
Oh no, that was so funny because I was like, yeah, we haven't seen them in a bit, and they're like, so are we coming back for now? I'm like, no, I think it's gonna be a minute.
Bring in Bryce and Alex for like 3 lines a piece, and then send them on their way.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh man, I do hope we see. I mean, we will see them later. Question is, are we gonna get any extra stories with them as much, or it's gonna? I mean, we're mainly focusing on Tanjiro and Nezuko, so I'm like, probably not. It'll just be the rejoining and be maybe a hey, what have you been up to flashback, or what's your new power up stuff. But then it'll be kind of. I don't think we're gonna get as much featured on them.
My guess is that they will come back for next season, that they're going to return when we have the episode or 2 of recovering at the butterfly house.
Yeah.
And that whatever they were up to is going to get told comedically.
Yes. Just imagining them ahead of time. Yes.
Very big, we have lives outside of you, Kirito energy. Yes. I know you're a really big fan of Sword Art Online, but I'm a really big fan of the abridged series. So
no, that was very. I'm like, that's fair though.
I will send you the abridged series. It's pretty amazing.
That would be amazing.
It's good. Yeah. So
okay, this is fair. Good one. Okay, Charles Darcy says no spoilers, but the next arc is a short, pure training arc, and then we get the big final arc. Okay.
It feels a little soon for that.
I know it does feel a bit quick, but maybe.
I guess the big final arc is like long. I wonder if it wouldn't be divided into multiple seasons.
Yes, could be. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't read the manga. No manga spoilers.
Like, I'm a bit behind. I wanted to
because the manga's not over, is it?
I don't know.
I didn't think it was.
Those who read it, is it over?
Yeah, is the manga over? I feel like it's not.
Because the final arc is like 60 chapters long. Okay.
Well, there we go. That's going to be a couple seasons.
And then the anime is up to chapter 130 out of 205. Oh, okay.
Or maybe it won't.
That's a bit. We're a bit behind. The manga ended in 2020. Oh. Well, thank you.
Well.
But still, if we're around 130 out of 205, that still means we still have a bit to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Maybe it'll be just an extended final season.
It could be. They might try to. Well, you know, the other thing too, from my experience reading it to the show does let the manga breathe. Pun intended with this show. Breathe a bit more. Like I feel when you read it, moments go by so fast, which is part of your reading. But I think but still the anime fleshes a lot more out. I think. Just the feel and tone and pacing of it. So that might make the difference as well. So anything else within this episode that we did not cover that you were like, hey, wait.
No. I had a very fun time. I was howling.
It was very entertaining. I agree. I was like, yes, this is so exciting and exciting.
I'm very sad that Muichiro does not have his own particular like cape or coat pattern like anyone else, because like I'd be on that. He's like the only one who doesn't.
You
but
know
I
what,
would be on
though?
that.
Oh, where was I? I think it was at WonderCon. There was this lady who had the same ombre hair, not on purpose, and I was all, "Do you know this character?" And then eventually, I had to pull up a picture because I'm like, "You look just like this guy." And she's like, "Oh, okay." It made her feel better about like the regrowth, but I'm like, "No, it's totally on purpose, and the show looks great." Which, funny side note, has anybody else noticed this is like the first anime I've seen with so many ombre hairstyles? And if you don't know
Yeah.
what ombre means, that means like the half and the half, but it looks good. Because
Yeah.
generally, ombre was your roots growing out. So I like it. I love it so much on this show. I was like, so many people have ombre there. Yes, here we go. Charles says, "Yep, the next episode's title after Love Hashira, so we should get lots of her." Yes, good point, because I feel that is it's time to get her backstory. We might not be as long because it might not be as tragic as our other character, which I should hope not. But we do need more context for her.
Yeah, this is the point where we hop into the half of the season that's about her.
Yeah. So
yeah,
get more. I'm excited to learn more because it's such a unique fighting style, and her just overall demeanor is interesting. So we'll see, because very different. The most like two different, like devoid of emotion in a way, and the most.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting because devoid of emotion was like, oh shit, emotion.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see what we've got with her. I don't know if we'll get a mid-battle power-up with her. I think we're just going to get some absolutely batshit crazy stuff.
Yes.
Because the other piece that we have on the board that we have not played yet is Haganezuka and that 300-year-old sword that he's still... Yep. So... that is going to come to the board eventually. I'm assuming into Tanjiro's hands, and I'm also assuming that that is going to turn the tide of the fight. Like,
I think so too. I was waiting for that sword because the sword should be almost made. We got the hilt, put the pieces together. Let's go.
Yeah, this is some Chekhov's gun shit.
Yeah.
Like, we've got to use it this season. There's no way we wouldn't.
It's been too long to build up, yes.
Yeah. This isn't something where, like, you hand it off at the very last episode and you take it into the training arc. Like, no, we use this.
Giga Derek goes, I predict Emotion Demon doesn't die the exit. No, probably not. It'll be like a fight, but it's close, but not yet.
Oh, Shonen Protagonist Demon is going to stick around for a hot minute.
Yeah.
And that is... again, just the whole villain thing and he doesn't just have emotions, he has self-righteousness. Like,
yes,
I appreciate my roommate and her commentary. She says some amazing things. But yeah, just
second that one. All right.
He's gonna stick around for a minute.
I think so too. Alrighty, let's get into stuff you should check out. So these are movies, shows, books, TV, whatever that we've been watching, reading, consuming that we want to let you know about. You should check out. I had a rare occurrence where I had some extra time. I went to the movie theaters twice in a few days. My goodness. Nice. I saw The Little Mermaid and I saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and thoroughly enjoyed both of them. Little Mermaid. So I was kind of laughing because when we said he has abs, there was a moment in Little Mermaid when she like sits down and my friend and I both are like, she has abs. Which I noticed too. I'm like, oh, she is fit. Yeah. So the movie is
a lot of swimming.
It's a lot of swimming. Yes, it is fantastic. If you are a fan of the original, I think this I would also say is the best live action update that Disney's done. I've seen pretty much every single one of them except Lion King, but that's like animals.
Don't bother.
I'm like, that's so all the ones with people, this is the best one in terms of there are new songs, which is really kind of like, oh, something new. I like that. They changed some things which were really fun of like, okay, I was kind of wondering how that scene would go. And they like Prince Eric gets more depth. They're flirting and like how they're getting to know each other feels very real and organic. So they had some really great chemistry. The Little Mermaid, she's an amazing singer. I'm like Bailey. There we go. Miss Bailey is fantastic.
Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey. And her singing's fantastic. I think she looks great. Like, and just how they make the water, any sequence underwater, you go, so like, how did you make that work? Because it looks really good. It doesn't look awkward. It doesn't. I mean, obviously, almost most of it's probably special effects. But I've seen some photos and videos, but it looks so good. It looks so good. And it was great to see it there were some little kids in the theater because we went to an 11 a.m. show on a Saturday. So we knew that might
As you do.
But that was great. And there's a part where she's like laying down. Some little kid's like, "Is the Little Mermaid dead?" I was like, no, or at least not yet. Maybe, kid, what? I'm like, not this version.
How Hans Christian Andersen are we getting here?
Yeah, I was like, But yeah, anyway,
yeah,
I recommend Little Mermaid. It was very entertaining. Oh, and then Sebastian is hilarious. I kind of felt like he was almost like kind of annoying in the original. Like, let's be real, he's kind of like overbearing a little bit. But in this, they just made him so funny. And I don't know if it's just I'm older and I relate to some of the humor. I don't know. But I just found he was so funny.
Also played by Daveed Diggs.
Oh, it was great. And voice casting of and just casting in general, everybody's great. So anyway, high marks on that one. Just Across the Spider-Verse. And so that one's haven't had as much time to let that percolate, but also really enjoyed that one. It is visually stunning. They play a lot with different style of animation, and I feel that might be weird for some people, but I think that's really great to expose people to such different styles of art and how that expresses what's happening in the scene. You could bring your friend who didn't see the first one because they kind of do recap of like, so by the way, this is what happened a little bit in the last one. This is who these people are. So in case you're like, I want to go and my friend hasn't seen it, it's okay. And then they can watch it after.
Make your friends see it first.
I mean, they should. But if it's one of those like, we're going today.
Fair.
Short on time. If it's one of those like, we're going to see it tomorrow, today, you don't got time. But yeah, I thought that one was really entertaining. Sounds great. Sounds like you watched it as well. What were your thoughts on it?
I have had time to percolate thoughts on Spider-Verse. And some of the thoughts are very spoilery, so we're not going to get into them here, but you can always slide into my DMs and we can talk about it because a lot of the themes of this movie are things where I really just want to sink my teeth in and go, okay, but this is a thing. Can we extrapolate more on how this is a thing? Yes, the Easter eggs are unbelievably good. You've seen in the trailer some of those crowd scenes. You could pause any of them and be like, that's that one. That's that one. Like, they all exist already. It's a blast. I want to talk about the compositing for this movie. For those unfamiliar, compositing is actually something Demon Slayer does extremely well as well.
We've talked about on here as well.
We have, but I don't assume that everyone here has seen every episode of our show. So occasionally we go over the same stuff more than once. It's okay. We love you guys for sticking around. Compositing is the art of integrating essentially CGI and hand-drawn animation, or two different types of animation, and being able to do it seamlessly. You can always tell when compositing is bad when you can look at something and go, oh boy, that doesn't really fit. Oh, you can totally tell that the background's separate. Oh, bad compositing is very easy to notice. Good compositing, when you see it, you don't even think about it because it's seamless. Spider-Verse does a very fun thing where every single universe has a different art style. Some of them are very, very similar to each other. Some of them are extremely different, almost jarringly so. So you will have a scene in a universe with a specific art style with a half a dozen different spider people who are all in different art styles. Mm-hmm. And it is seamlessly done. And if you've ever played the Insomniac, that's the studio that did it, the Insomniac Spider-Man games for PS4, you know that some of the extra unlock costumes you can do are comics costumes that are actually rendered in comics style. If you do the Miles Morales DLC, you can get the Into the Spider-Verse costume. And you can't really do those costumes very long because they don't work with the style of the game, and like your eye skids off of them. Like they play oddly. The fact that this movie is able to take all of these different art styles and blend them so well together that your brain's not going, all right, I need to make all these pieces fit. Your brain is just going, this is a scene. Let's watch it unfold. Everything is smooth and beautiful. Phenomenal compositing, phenomenal artistry. Shoe in for best animation, and I will fight people if it's not at least nominated for best picture. It is incredible what they've done with this movie. I cried. It is a part one for those who
I
did
was gonna
not
say, I'm like,
know.
do we feel that's a spoiler to say? But I
No,
think
it's
you
on the
should know.
posters.
I don't think it's that big on the posters though, because I
It's not
didn't
that big,
know
but
that.
it is. It is a
But I
part
didn't know it
one.
until I saw one friend's post about it on social media. So I was like, okay. So I went in knowing that. People behind me were like, what? Oh, man, like all disgruntled and stuff.
But
so
like when they announced new Spider-Verse films, they announced this one and they announced, I believe the other one is Beyond the Spider-Verse.
yes.
And they announced them as a couple. So it's like, okay, we're getting multiple ones.
Yeah.
The fun thing about this for me is that I was on the Voltron show on that other channel at the time. And the showrunners for Voltron were Joaquim Dos Santos and Lauren Montgomery. Joaquim Dos Santos helmed this movie. Lauren Montgomery is helming the next one. They do fantastic work. So yeah, just seeing this and going, yes. Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. Look at this. I will say a warning for those who are prone to light sensitivity or light triggered seizures.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Do not go see this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's an incredible movie, but even the opening credits sequence, I was looking at this going, ooh, I can see that being a problem. So this is a movie where you will want to wait for it to come to streaming. You will want to watch it in an environment that you can control and where it won't be overwhelming for you. Or if it is more of a major issue for you, you will need to skip this movie entirely. Like, please, please, please be very careful. This movie is just flashing gifts, flashing gifts. So it's
my only other little thing too. I'm excited to watch it later with subtitles because there are some characters and sequences that either their accent is really thick or it goes by really fast. And I hope they play with some of that as well, of like how they do the subtitle. I mean, yes, of course, the standard is fine, but it'd be nice if they play with it. Also, it'd be great to pause it because there are moments that pop up like a comic book that they're like information, and you'd be like, "What the pause? What's it say?" So if you can read fast. I was gonna say one other.
I could. It was great.
One other random. Some of them I was fine, but there were some moments. I think my theater overall, the volume was just a scotch low.
Oh.
Because my trailers were loud, and then when I went to the movie, I felt like even at the opening, when it's like just the beginning stuff, I was like, this is a 7. We could be at a 10, please. Like, I mean, it was fine, but it is anyway. My other really dorky thing that I would say my geek claim to fame, not claim to fame, but like, ooh, I read Spider-Man 2099 way back when, and so there is a cover they show, and I'm like, pretty sure I have that. Which makes me want to go dig them out because there's a lot of stuff about that character that I kind of remember, and there's other stuff I'm like, I don't really remember that, but maybe that's like much later than I ever read, but. That was kind of a really fun one to read, that if you ever get a chance to read those comic books, they're very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun, wild stuff in there.
Yes.
And it's not all of the stuff that we see from these characters is accurate to the comics, but it's also kind of not meant to be. It's its own thing.
Yep.
And that was also what happened in the first movie. A lot of what we got from the different spider people in the first movie wasn't accurate to the comics. But that's fine. You take a concept and you roll with it. It's not meant to be 100% accurate. It's meant to be fun and tell a good story. And it did. Oh my God, this was amazing. Definitely go see it. A++. Highly recommend. Cannot wait for the next one to round out this trilogy. Unbelievably good work.
Yeah, I'm almost like, I would almost want to wait and then be like, there you go. That's the triple feature. To just watch them all together because it's nice to... Oh, that waiting for the next one. You're like, no.
Yeah. Like you get your tickets for the third one, and then 2 days before it, you watch the first one, and then the day before you watch the second one, and then you are fresh and ready to go.
My friends
there's going to be double and triple feature screenings.
Oh, yeah, probably. But, you can do that in the comfort of your own home and for free. But for the previous movies. But Indiana Jones, the new one of that, I was like, hey, guys, want to do like a multi-feature and go watch the other ones and get ready? So... That trailer looks fun. I'm excited.
I'm going to wait to see what everyone else has to say about the new indie
That's
feature
fair.
because I was in the theater for Crystal Skull.
I was too. I didn't
We're
hate
gonna
it with other
wait.
people, but
We're going to wait.
yeah.
I will say, however, I have my tickets and I will be butts and seats opening night for the new Transformers movie because we have Beast Wars stuff and because
That
it's
one does
done
look
by
fun.
Travis Knight instead of Michael Bay. And Travis Knight did Bumblebee, which is straight up a horse girl movie, but it's unbelievably good. And for
I
those of
liked
you
it.
not familiar, yeah. Oh, it's really good. It's
Bumblebee
really
was
good.
really good.
Breath of fresh air. Very, very heartfelt. Very good.
Yes.
And for those of you not familiar with Travis Knight's other works, go watch Kubo and the Two Strings, but don't do it if you're not in the mood to cry. Kubo and the Two Strings is absolutely phenomenal, utterly breathtaking, fantastic work, and emotionally devastating. What a great movie. Yes.
I
But
feel
I
we've
think
gotten quite a few recommendations in here, but was there anything else we wanted to throw in there before we wrap up? Because I'm like, well, we've given you a few things, everybody.
I mean, for the most part, we talked about Spider-Man.
I know, but that's
But
like, well, we said
yes,
other side things in that too. So
yeah, the
Good enough.
other one I want to throw out there because we
Yes.
talked about it a little earlier, and why not?
Mm.
Sword Art Online Abridged. For those of you who were not part of the Abridged series craze in the man alive early to mid 2000s, they're still going for one. And it was the art of taking a show, usually an anime, cutting the episodes down, re-editing and redubbing them, and doing a lot of jokes. So there are some where it is just joke, 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 and that valid. That's how the art form started. And then there are some where they took it and they rewrote the story, but they still kind of stuck with it. One of those, like the best abridged series, are made by people who understand and love the thing that they're abridging. The people who can sit there and go, yeah, no, I get it. But also, what if we did this? The people who understand the flaws in the material and are willing to approach them instead of throwing them out. Sword Art Online Abridged is one of the best abridged series I've ever seen. I know everyone who watches DBZ Abridged is going to fight me on this, and you can. DBZA is also amazing. Sword Art Online Abridged lives in my soul because I've done extensive coverage of Sword Art Online, and there were parts of it that I enjoyed, and there were parts of it that I really, really didn't for multiple reasons. And the fact that SAO Abridged is able to rework the characters, rework the plot, and approach this as what if it was this? What if we took the story and tilted it slightly sideways and made it a little funnier? But then what if we built this absolutely incredible emotional through line as well? So you can sit here and be laughing at the jokes, and then 2 minutes later be on the floor from absolutely incredibly well built emotional beats. Like, an abridged series is there to make you laugh. SAO Abridged is art unto its own right. It is a parody, it is a story about a very, very lonely person. It's honestly incredible. I cannot recommend SAO Abridged enough. If you've watched it, you have heard bits of it in my vocabulary on the show and in other videos that I've done. If you like Sword Art Online, you'll like SAO Abridged. If you hate Sword Art Online, you'll like SAO Abridged. It's that good. Don't watch it at work. It is definitely not safe for work language-wise, but it's an incredible show. Highly recommended.
Giga Derek's with you on that. SAO Bridge is phenomenal from Laughs to Breaking Your Heart and back. Also adds loved Beast Wars.
Yes. Yeah. No, I was not expecting SAO Abridged to just emotionally devastate me, and then it did, and then it made me laugh some more, and then it messed me up again. It's a really good show, you guys. It's all on YouTube. It's Something Witty Entertainment is the channel.
I was gonna say actually one that I did think I did just start watching because I haven't been on Netflix as well of like looking around stuff, but something that's heartfelt, make you laugh and make you cry. New season of Queer Eye came out. I don't know when that dropped. I don't know if I'm behind.
Mid-May.
Oh, okay. Then I'm a little behind of checking out my Netflix, but they're in New Orleans this season, and it is so good. And if you want a feel good show,
oh yeah,
I'll watch that show. Any season, they're all fabulous and.
Oh yeah. Queer Eye is phenomenal. It's so good.
It's such a good show. But I'm a bit behind, so I've only watched like the first 2 episodes. But I'm so glad to be like, there's a new season.
Same. I queued it. I started watching the first one, and then other stuff happened because it's mostly been Tears of the Kingdom hours in this household. That is the new media that we are consuming. Is we're playing this Zelda game, and I'm not going to talk much about it because it's an open world, so anything could be spoilers if you do it in a different direction from someone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us here at nighttime at the Nerd Bar. Woo! Thank you everybody who joined us. Yes, we have a good time. Thank you for joining us in the live chat. And if you watch it later, no worries, comment down below. Katie, where can people find you online? Anything you want to promote?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also on a horror channel called Silver Screams on YouTube, and that is where we do all of the fun horror stuff, except for the Five Nights at Freddy's trailer reaction and in-depth analysis. That's on my channel. I'm going to be a problem when that movie comes out.
I was thinking it was way sooner, but it makes more sense that it comes out in October because I saw the poster. I'm like, yeah, oh, wait, it's not till October.
It's coming out the same day as Saw, what is it, like 9? Saw 10? It's coming out the same day as the next Saw movie, and I know a number of people going, double feature! And I'm like, I'll join you for half of that. Yes, I'll join you for the movie that's probably going to be rated PG-13 at most. Not Saw.
We shall see. Because, yeah, I think to increase your audience, they go the PG-13. But there are some playful R's where it's just more like language.
Here's the thing. Something. Five Nights at Freddy's is unbelievably popular with kids, with a very young crowd. If you make it even a playful R, you cut out most of your audience. Yep. But if you keep it at a PG-13 where you only imply some of the more fucked up shit that the franchise is capable of and has been doing. Like, this is the child murder franchise. We all know that. But child murder is in a lot of children's horror. Even Goosebumps will do it too. So, yes. You know,
yeah.
You as long as you don't go completely insane with the blood spatter, you can an intentional PG-13 as opposed to the studio made us cut it down for a wider release PG-13. Like, yeah. I think an intentional PG-13 is the strongest way they could market this movie.
Probably.
And I think that's what they're going to do because, frankly, it's stupid to do an R and then open opposite Saw. It's going to be all the kids who go to FNAF and all the adults who either double feature it or do Saw. You're not really taking each other's audiences too much.
Yeah. And very different vibes of horror, so.
Oh, extremely.
Yes. And y'all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE across all platforms. I dressed up for going to see The Little Mermaid. I had a costume from a dance show. So I had like a tank top that has the shells and like mermaid leggings. I was like, absolutely, I'm dressing up. Just how I dressed up for Spider-Man as well. I have little spiderweb earrings and I love doing that. But I posted a video of the mermaid outfit on my TikTok. So there's that. There are a couple interviews here on this channel, quite a few that we have done that are new. So make sure to click that subscribe button here on Fanversation. Give this video a thumbs up. Also, there we go. Follow us over on NTATNB for pictures and more up-to-date stuff on like news and whatever we post over there. Also, we reshare a lot of anime announcements and voice actor stuff. So if that's your jam, go take follow. So thank you again, everybody, for watching and tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.